Why are you in business? Your why is going to create a purpose and energy and an intention behind that business. And believe it or not, that's what's going to create your success. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. Today I'm going to talk to you about why did you open up your business? What is your big why? If you ever watch Shark Tank, you'll see these guys who started a business and they'll ask them all of these different questions regarding their KPIs, key performance indicators, but then they'll eventually get to, well, who does your product serve? And you'll notice most of the people who are successful say, we want to help this certain type of person. We want to help people with whatever problem they have. It solves a problem. It serves the needs of people. It serves the needs and wants. People want purified water on the go. So they created some portable purifiers where you can convert any water wherever you are into purified water rather quickly. Or whatever the case may be, a hooded jacket that turns into a knapsack so you can, carry it around with you. Any kind of problem, the product or service solves it. Doctors serve people's health. You got a heart condition, they're helping, say, cardiologist is going to help serve their patients have a healthier heart through exercise, through certain medications. Chiropractors help the nervous system function better and help people feel better by adjusting their back. People who have back pain often come to them and they find out they've got a pinched nerve. They help with sciatica issues. Psychologists help people with depression. They help people with anxiety. All of these kinds of services and products always meet a need or want, a demand in people. And that's their why. Well, why are you a psychologist? Because I want to help people with depression. Or why do you have a 7-Eleven? Well, I want to make a good living providing a convenience for people where they can just walk down the block and get a soda or get a candy bar and make it easy for them. In a one-stop shop, they can get everything they want. There's always a need of the people, and that becomes your why. Without that why, if you just want to make money, and believe me, there are plenty of entrepreneurs who just want to make money and make a great living, but they're more interested in the finances as investors. And shareholders obviously want their shares to go up in value. And the CEO and the club of chairs has to answer to the shareholders. They have to answer the profit margin so that people just don't dump their stocks and then devalue the company. So you're always serving somebody. They say there's always a master that you're serving. You may not know the name of that master, but you're always serving a master. But we don't have to get esoteric like that. It's really just about helping people in a specific way, a specific problem. A lot of chiropractors focus on the successful ones saying headaches or just neck pain or sciatica. You'll hear business people just focusing on feeding people or making a computer product. We're going to specialize in making the best operating system that people can experience. There are advertisers, marketers, IT people who help, they're kind of more like an assistant in the digital world. They may help their clients with user interface. They may develop web pages to make it pleasant to interact with. I've certainly have my favorites with certain web pages. In fact, I like Yahoo Sports out of all of the sports apps. I don't like Fox Sports and the other sports, Bleacher Sports Report. I like the layout. It's the user interface that I enjoy. And somewhere, in some office, somebody designed that and said, how can we actually make this user interface more attractive for people? So you're always serving some type of need or desire within your target market. And that's what your business needs to focus on. Now, in your startup, if you're in that stage or you're past that stage and you wonder why you're not attracting the right clients, It's because you're not clear on your why. What is the target market? And not everybody likes to hear this. I came across a body worker. He does rolfing and massage therapy. And he says, I hate it when people ask me who your target market is. I want to help everybody. And that's why he's not doing well, because he doesn't know how to connect with everybody. When you focus in on a specific niche, you're going to really hone in on that person. Now, a lot of people say, mountain bikers, for instance, they mountain bike, maybe they become pro or get really good, and then they're getting too old to compete. So what do? They open up their own mountain biking shop, and they understand the needs of mountain bikers because they themselves have been a mountain biker. For myself, my practice, I was a chiropractor, and I really focused on sports chiropractic. And I practiced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I attracted a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, and they'd flat out tell me, Dr. Howe, we like you because you actually do what we do, and you understand the athleticism, what it is we go through when we spar, so you understand the nature of the injury and understand what we want out of your services to perform better on the mat. And that's the thing, when you're in an industry, and you don't have to be, there's plenty of business people who don't know anything about the industry, but know a lot about business and partner with people who know about the industry. But it helps if you know about the industry and then open up your own business. You know the needs, you know the pain, you can empathize with that target market. And that's where I'm going with this, because if you can't connect, if your message, your business, if you don't care about the people that you help, the people that you serve, your clients and customers and patients are going to know that. So many doctors don't care about their patients. They just want to sell medicine and put people on drugs and sell surgeries. Orthopedists make about 20 grand a surgery. So they're always going to push surgery. You need surgery, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm not an orthopedist. I'm not trying to rag on orthopedists. They do a lot of great work for people. But my point is some people try to oversell because they're doing it for money. And you can tell when that person doesn't really care about you versus a person, or maybe care is not the right word. Maybe they don't understand your needs. This is certainly evident with a lot of salespeople. You'll see this. They'll talk about the benefits and features of whatever product or service they're selling. They don't even stop to ask, what's going on? Maybe you don't even need my service. I ran into a guy who started this, it's called Go High Level, and maybe you're familiar with it. It's basically a Kajabi, ClickFunnels, and MailChimp all rolled into one. So it's your one-stop shop. You can create funnels, and it's really great for any kind of online business. So he's got now it's a white label business, so you can put your own name on it, but Go High Level is the foundational business for the website. And then you put your own name on the web page, but it's the same kind of system, the same user interface, the same capabilities, creating sales funnels, webinars, things of that nature, anything online. And all he talked about was the features of his service, of his version of Go High Level. And for the whole time, he just talked about it for like a good 2 hours. We're at a bar. I bumped into him and I told him what I do. I'm a business coach. And he goes, oh, you might be interested in this. And then he went on, oh, yeah, that's really fascinating. What is this called? And told me all about it. And the more interest I showed, the more he kept talking about it. And suddenly it dawned on me, he doesn't give a crap about me. He never once stopped to ask me if I even need a marketer, if I even need an SEO person, if I even need a social media manager. Never even asked if I needed a service of that nature. He just went on and on and on and on and on. And I said, well, he really enjoys talking about it, so I might as well egg him on and, ask him about it so I can learn something from it. And that's what I did. I learned all about it. And I realized I already use it. I already have a Go High Level account with a certain marketing agency and marketing coach. And I asked her about it. I said, that's what I do. So my point is, if you don't understand the needs and wants and the pain, if you can't empathize and you can't connect with your target market, it's because you're not clear on your why. You're just selling. You just want to make money. You just want to convince. And, it'll really come across when you interact with people. So if you're a physician, and say you're an acupuncturist, and you just want to help everybody, and so people come to you, and they tell you about their problems. Maybe a woman comes in with irregular menses, and you're a man and you're trying to, relate, and you don't really get what she's saying. You don't really know what she's talking about. Or if you're a female and you got a guy who is an athlete and has shoulder problems and he's playing basketball and he wants to get back into the game, and you never played a sport in your life, and you're kind of wondering, well, what's so special about being able to make hoops? And so you're not going to connect with them, and they're going to come in and it's like, nah, you know what? I don't think this person gets me. I'm going to go somewhere else. And I'll tell them, and what do you always hear? I'll think about it. Let me give you a call back. Give me your card. I need to talk about it with my spouse, or I just don't have enough money. My insurance plan ran out of visits and I don't have money to cover anymore. Whatever, you'll hear this, and they'll never tell you that, hey, you don't really get me. You're not even concerned about me. You're not even attempting to connect with me or attempting to understand me. So, hey, I don't think you're the right person for me. I'm going to go. They'll never say that because they don't want to insult you. But that's what happens. And, I've certainly been in a mood sometimes when I've had a new patient or done a report of finding, and I wasn't in my best state of mind. And I can tell I would turn a person off, and they just get up and say, no, I'll think about it. And they just get up and leave. I've been in that boat. I get it. Believe me. And that's because you're not clear about your why. It's almost like this. If you're in survival, and many business people are, especially in the grit stage, because you've gone through the excitement of the startup, you've had your vision, and your enthusiasm has enrolled a certain number of people to come in and buy from you. And then that enthusiasm wanes as you realize the nit and gritty of the exact, the amount of hours you got to work and all the stuff you've got to pay attention to and all the hats you got to wear. Suddenly you're stressed, and now you're just worried about paying bills, and now you're in survival mode. And now when you go to interact with people, you're only concerned about making money off of them because that's what's going to keep the lights on and pay the bills. And then you'll lose your ability to really connect with them because you lost your why. Your why is now about making money to survive instead of, I'm really here for you. I'm going to step out of my own shoes and enter into your world and truly understand what it is you're looking for to see if I can provide help for you. Because maybe I can't, and if I can't, I'll find someone who can. I'm not here just to reel you in to make money off of you. When you get to that level where you're not concerned about the money that you can potentially make from your client, customer, or patient, and you're just concerned about their well-being, their satisfaction, their happiness, it comes across that way. You go into a restaurant, for instance. I've been in plenty of restaurants where the waiter's just like, let me get your order. Here's your food. Walk away. They don't give a crap. And then they look at the tip and they wonder why they're not getting a good tip. Well, there's other waiters who come in or waitresses, how's everything going? Is your food well? Can I get you something else? Yeah, it's a great restaurant. They schmooze, they interact. And it's not just a show. You can actually feel their love, their sense of they want you to have a good time. They want you to enjoy the food and have a great experience in that restaurant. And what do? You leave a bigger tip, you know what I mean? So, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Because this is what happens with so many small businesses, especially service-oriented businesses, and especially healthcare practitioners. The stress, after a year, maybe 2-3 years of being a practice owner, the stress can get to you, and you can lose focus. And if you ever lose focus on your purpose and your why, that's what's going to generate the compassion, the concern, the knowledge, the words of what to say to your patients. If you're just about money, you're going to stumble in how you come across and what you say. You may even slip. You may even give like that, roll your eyes at somebody, and then they catch you and they're like, what? Did you just roll your eyes at me? Let me figure out a way to get the hell out of here now. You'll hear this, the man behind the curtain when you really get to know somebody. Are they really who they say they are? Integrity. That's where I'm going with this, is your integrity matters more than anything else. And if you're not there for your patients, your clients, your customers, they're going to know it and they're going to go somewhere else. And if the stress is getting to you, I've gone down that road. That's where I'm speaking from. I'm speaking from my own experience. I've gone down that road where I had to start worrying about bills. I have CPTSD. I discovered I have trauma, and I started to get triggered. I became a different person, became very aggressive and borderline offensive sometimes because I'd get triggered and start to go into attack mode with people. And that was from sparring a lot. So I went back into my practice, and then I got this kind of aggressive personality. You want your care or not? I'm trying to help you. Don't you get that? I made it about me and my survival, and it just turned people off. And it suddenly hit me. Wow, I'm really coming across kind of aggressive, and I'm making them feel wrong, and I have to be right and build my ego, and that's why it didn't work. And why did I become this person? Because I wasn't like that before, because I was getting triggered. And you may find out that you got some degree of trauma in your history and you're getting triggered. And that's what's creating that kind of the overreactive level of interacting with people in an intense manner where you don't have to, in other words, you make it about your survival and not about your clients and customers. And it's hard to snap out of that, because if you don't recognize that, you're going to just keep feeding that survival pattern. And when you get stuck in survival, you got to realize the essence of being self-centered is survival. You're trying to survive because you feel like you're on your own, because that's what happens in a traumatic experience. There's a realization that you are on your own. There's no one there to help you, and you don't know what to do. So there's a sense of panic. And that's what creates a traumatic experience. I'm not going to delve. I have plenty of videos on trauma. You can look through those. And then what happens is your nervous system gets hardwired just to survive. In other words, you're just stressed all the time. You're on edge. And people pick up on that. You're not relaxed. You don't put people at ease. People don't feel comfortable around you. So when they come see you, they feel uneasy. And some people turn into real jerks and assholes. And they're not afraid to show it, and they become really mean towards people. I called up a chiropractor's office. I'll leave his name out, but he's a very famous, well, his brother's very famous, and then he is famous because of his brother's name, because they share the same last name. Lying out the door, from what I hear, his CA, though, I called up just wanted to interview him and talk to him. What do you want? What are you calling for? Well, we're booked through the next month. He said, you want to make an appointment, you better make it now. Really just aggro. I was like, Jesus, how the hell did they get... Hey, there are miracles sometimes. Sometimes your reputation due to a name can override any kind of rudeness, obnoxiousness, and people will put up with it. And they'll come to you anyway, but if you don't have that reputation, that clout, don't bank on it. So that's why it's so important when you really get into what's in your heart. What is your true desire? Why are you really helping these people? Why is it important to you that the people you want to help get the care that they need? Why is that? Why does it matter to you? There's even a deeper sense of why. And it's because ultimately that's how you love. That's how you express the love that you have inside and the contribution that you want to make in this world, the difference you want to make. You want to matter, and not just your own ego saying, look at me, I matter, but the work that you do, you truly want to make an impact on people, to transform people's lives, to transform their health. And if you lose sight of that, because you're stuck in survival, your business will plummet. Doesn't matter how good you are in your skills, your energy will change. And that's where I'm going with this, is your energy. Your why, your purpose, your intent creates an energetic field around you. And that's what's going to attract or repel people. And the more clear you are in your intention, the more love you have for the people around you, the more gratitude you have, the more joy and enthusiasm, that's going to attract clients to you. And this is where your mindset comes in. Because a lot of business coaches, they'll only focus on mindset, or they only focus on strategy and tactic. Most business coaches only focus on strategy and tactic. Or you get these life coaches that suddenly want to play your therapist, and they know nothing about business models, and they want to coach you on business models. They don't know anything about it. For me, I'm coming from a background where I've owned my own practice for 9 years. COVID really challenged it. It pretty much shut it down. I had to rebuild it back up. And during that time, it inspired me to want to help other healthcare practitioners and small business owners, because we're all in the same boat. And the things that I've learned across the way, from working for a high-level business coach, from getting my Green Belt Six Sigma, the Agile Lean Six Sigma certification training, and taking corporate leadership training, really looking at the control line of sales, marketing, production operations, and then the behavior, the work environment. Really delved into this. Plus, I have a degree in psychology, and I've always wanted to help people who are suffering, who are hurting from depression, anxiety. Then I got into more sports because I am an athlete. I grew up skateboarding. Really had a passion for helping athletic performance and improving athletic performance, and that's what I really connected with people. Still do. And suddenly, when I'd been a business owner, wow, I could really relate to other small business owners. There's a certain language, there's a certain kind of, how shall I say, knowing the innuendos, the ins and outs, all the do's and don'ts, the struggles, the triumphs, the joys and the letdowns of being an entrepreneur. There's something that only entrepreneurs get, because when you work for yourself, you're a visionary. You're making all the decisions. And it's different than a worker bee, where nothing against worker bee mentality. Some people thrive in that mentality as an entrepreneur. Nothing wrong. CEOs are entrepreneurs. CFOs are entrepreneurs. CMOs are entrepreneurs. COOs, directors are entrepreneurs, meaning you work within a set of rules, being the company policy. And some people thrive in that environment, where entrepreneurs have no rules. We have no rules. We're the gung-ho folks, and we want to take risks. But we got to realize we got to manage that risk and litigate that risk to minimize the risk, to make sure we have a high return of investment. And a lot of entrepreneurs go out and start a business with this great vision, and then you realize crickets. Nobody cares about what you have to offer, because you're not connecting with that target market. Because now you're more focused on you and your success rather than connecting with your target market. When you make it about the people that you serve, you'll just draw them into you. They will seek you out. There's a saying, if you just open your shingles, and if you're there to heal, people will just show up. There's a little more than that. You got to make your name and face known. You got to make it so people know how to contact you and how to connect with you. So when they want to find you, they can. And a lot of local communities, they don't trust chiropractors or acupuncturists, or who to go to, which doctor to go to. And they want to meet you first. So I always offer a free consultation. Never sit down and just talk to you about your health, because your health matters. I'm not here to make money off you. I want to get to know your circumstance, your situation, and what you're looking for, to see if I can. If I can't, I'll find someone who can. I don't have a problem with that. That's what I tell people. No, so you're not really just here. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, well, if you find stuff, that means you're not just here to reel me in. There's a way of wording things. There's a way of articulating your intention so people really understand where you're coming from, especially in a diverse culture where there are people from different countries all congregating, and somehow the English language gets convoluted and things get lost in translation. But if you're sincere, the sincerity, the compassion, the caring, the clarity, the understanding, it doesn't matter what culture you're in, that will come through. And, with entrepreneurs, I really connect with you guys because there's something that your husband, your wife, your significant other, your friends just don't understand what it's like to be a business owner. The risk you're taking, the decisions you make, the nature of those decisions, because it all weighs on your shoulders. And when you feel the scope of that responsibility, that you can lose your business, that is the risk. You could really drop in your profits, where you got to maybe fire your friend who's working for you and really help you out. And they're really good, addition to your business. Now you got to fire them because you're not making enough money. It's an awful feeling, letting somebody go. I've had to let CAs go, and I felt bad, but at the same time, this is what's best for the business. And if a person isn't cutting it, do you have the heart to tell them to be that leader, to step up and do what's best for the business? And ultimately, you got to look out for your business as well. You got to make sure the profit margin is in the black. You're not in the red. You got to make sure your funds are spent wisely on things that will have a high return of investment. In other words, help your business flourish. And ultimately, your marketing has to be dialed in. And this is ultimately the true message of this, because your purpose, your why, is going to be expressed in your marketing. Your marketing is your connection and letting the community know what you can do for them, what you have to offer, which is not about look how great my service is, but listen, I really get you. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the struggles. You got to keep the lights on. You could be in a 5-year lease, a 1-year lease, and you could be in crickets, or you see your patient base go up and down, up and down. How do you make it steady? You have good months and bad months. How do you make it so you don't, I wouldn't call it a bad month. There's always going to be a lull, but maybe that lull is just less than a bad month where you're still in the black, still profiting, and you keep a steady flow of new patients coming into your office. That's where the marketing comes in. And you really got to dial in, whether it's networking at, say, the Chamber of Commerce meeting, the Rotary Club meeting, the Lions Club, some type of social networking around your area, or whether it's social media marketing. These are the two main avenues. And then you have referrals. I wouldn't bank on referrals unless you grew up in the town or city that you're in and you're a solid church goer and everybody knows you're at church, things of that nature. You're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy and you've been part of this academy for 10 years and they all know who you are. You know, when you're involved in a community, you have loyalty. That's when you can ask for referrals. Don't bank on that. You'll be very lucky to get referrals. Every healthcare practitioner wishes they had nothing but referrals. But you got to put yourself out there and you got to be able to hone your message so people understand that you're there for them and that you really get what it is they're going through. And this is what I can help you with. I've been a business coach for a good solid 2 years, and I've talked to a lot of business owners, a lot of small business owners, and understanding their problem, this is a huge thing, is cash flow. Now, cash flow keeps the lights on. And yeah, like I just said, you don't want to make it about survival and money, but it's something as a business, you need to manage this. And you got to have your finances in order to keep the lights on so you can help people, so you can help more people more effectively. And ultimately, the purpose is about serving your target market, serving or solving the problem that they have with what you can do for them, and making sure that that message is continually flowed out to the community and dialing in that message so they get that you're there for them, that you understand them, that you can solve their problem, that they can trust you, they can have confidence in you, and you can deliver the goods. You can get them results. And that's where the messaging comes in. And this is where I'm stressing, because you're going to go from startup into the grit stage. And this is where you're going to really brand yourself. Your speciality is going to be your brand, and that's what your target market is going to know you for. If you don't brand yourself, you want to help everybody, well, that specific demographics will find someone who knows about their problem more than you. You know, you go to an orthopedist who specializes in shoulder problems. You go to an orthopedist who specializes in hip problems. I want to go to a guy who really understands hips. Because if I need a hip replacement, I want a guy who can do that surgery with his eyes closed. I want a surgeon who's done that 1,000,000 times. Because I don't want any mistakes. You know, I'm trusting my body with him. You follow what I'm saying? This is how a patient thinks. Try to think of it from your patient's point of view, your client's point of view, and then you'll be able to better connect with them. So if you would like a consultation, I'm offering in my 3-day workweek business method, a 2024 business plan. You'll also get a high performance nutrition plan so your energy levels are even keeled. Because when you have spikes, you're going to feel tired in those times. You're going to down coffee. It's going to screw up your brain chemistry. You're not going to be able to think clearly. And as the owner, as the CEO, you need to make really clear decisions. And it's so important. Go ahead and click on the link below. You can schedule a consultation. It is free of charge. You have nothing to lose. So this way, I can get to know your KPIs, your vision, and what your business model is. And I can let you know if I can help you, because your business model is what's going to dictate your workflow, your production, your marketing, also the work environment. And there's different business models and there's different business stages to go through. You may not be aware of this. So this is where I come in. I can show you the different stages, show you different business models. And then so you can work a 3-day work week, make more money, have more fun, and have more time to spend with the people who matter. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening.